We're actually going to start standing with the TheraBands. How are you? I'm good. Hope you had a great week off. We're starting with the TheraBands.
With TheraBands, fantastic. Average color.
No.
And I just wanted to tell you, I found one of these on the street, like a giveaway, like right in front of their house, free, and it was in a bag,
That's
and
amazing.
it said like Pilates, and I was like, oh, what's in there? And it was like after the day that I had to leave early, after you had done.
How great is that?
I know, I was like, it was nice to meet you. Yeah, so excited.
Hi there. Good. So hopefully Max will edit this video and I'll have you standing around for a couple of minutes.
The return from break,
Yeah.
everything is just 5 minutes slow.
And today was sort of a dreary day.
Also known as Foxer.
Anyway, so as you come to standing, we're going to be holding the band. And of course, the bands are different strengths. I think I've got a lighter one, sort of medium weight. The green ones are heavy, at least right here. If only they would color coordinate the strengths across companies that make them, that would be helpful, but they don't. So anyway, you want to hold the band in your hands and let the semicircle, the curve, down just below your knees. And we can adjust this as you need to. Watching your wrists are straight, you'll pull the band forward and apart to bring it up overhead. Watch your wrists to reach out through the knuckles, and then you stretch around the circle behind you, and then you lower the arms behind you to let the back of the loop sort of fall behind your knees. And then you pull the band back, wider, up, around, forward, and then down, narrowing the arms towards each other as the band sinks towards the floor. And we do this again. You can be parallel, whatever stance you like, be 4 to 5 inches apart or wider if you wish. It's really helpful to do this facing a mirror when you do it at home, so you can see if the band is staying parallel to the floor no matter where you take it. No matter whether it's in front of the body, back of the body, above the body, or down low in front of you or behind you. So, and you can really reach out through the knuckles to stretch the wrist into a neutral position here, and then bring it on down again. If you feel like you're not getting enough work, choke up on the band. If it's too compressive in the shoulders, pay it out a bit. And this should feel amazing in your shoulders. And of course, the reason to do it in front of the mirror is to see if you're getting like the equal rotation of the arm on the socket on the right and left side. Everyone feel it opening up your chest a bit, and feel how it moves the scapula on your back. Just gonna do one more like this. Let open. You do want to watch that you're not arching the back, because sometimes what will happen, I should do another one so I can demo what not to do, is sometimes when people do this, they take it forward up and then they arch their spine like so, take it behind them. You don't want to do that. You want to feel some engagement through the abdominal wall. So as the arms go back, you feel the work through your midline, through your midriff, through your abs, and don't really feel that you're sticking the belly forward or changing the spinal position. Anyway, so from here, let's hold the band in. Well, I'm going to hold it in my left hand. You might hold it in your right, and then drop the other end down on the mat. You're going to step onto the band with the ball of the foot, and then maybe jerk up on the band a little bit. But have your wrist straight again, and you bring your elbow down by your waist. And as you punch the arm up, you're going to feel a little bit of tension there. You want to make it sort of your racing strength on your sidelines. Lean the side of your hip into it, and bring the band overhead as you move into a nice side bend here. Let the head fall ear towards the shoulder. You can even push your hip out into the band. Usually bend in the other knee a little bit here, and then you're coming up, reach up through the knuckles or up through the fingertips if you have them extended and then pull this down a little slowly so you can feel some work on the returning of the arm by your side. So punch up again. Hip goes into the band. With your head, reach the other arm for the floor. And really open the side rib cage into the band. And as you come up, pull from your hip up to your waist, close the ribs from the bottom to the top, and keep reaching down with the opposite arm to have a little bit of resistance that you provide yourself. And then you come on down. And I do like to kind of wrap the band around my hand or gather it up in a big mess and hold it in the fist so it doesn't rearrange my hair or my jewelry or anything. So, or just get in your eyes, which is irritating. So lift, push out on the side bend, lengthening here. Maybe see if you go a little further with every repetition, and then pull it up. You can put a lot of weight into the foot that's on the band, and then bring it down. We'll just do one more. You're gonna feel very lopsided when we finish this repetition. So you're going over, still facing forward. So it's helpful to have the band like more across the upper arm, maybe bend the elbow. That sort of, I think it helps hold it in position. And then you can lift to come up and then bring the elbow forward, work it down slowly so you get some work into the upper arm. All right, and then just stand for a second. I feel like this shoulder has dropped while this side is lengthened. So your experience may be different. It's all good. So here we go again. So you could even start with it onto the outside of the upper arm. Yes. And then we punch up. Let it stretch. Head tips towards the ground, head reaches for the floor. And then pull up from your hip to your waist. Close the ribs one by one, and then bring the arm down slow enough that you're not just letting the band retract for you. And we push again. Take that side bend. Reach out into the hand and down into the foot on the band. And then coming up. Reach high and then keep reaching up with the hand as you pull the elbow down. Lift again here. Usually applies when you move into a side bend when you inhale over and then exhale on the return. Focusing on the knitting together of the oblique abdominals on that side of your body. Just do a couple more. So most of us, we don't get enough side bending in our everyday life. Do a lot of movement forward in that sagittal plane. Your back or occasionally we turn around, but side bending, not so much unless we're slumped that way, propped up on our elbows to watch TV or read a book. But our spines need to move in all possible directions every day. Really healthy. All right, very good. So now we do have another option here using these bands, and I don't know if you have the reed bands. You could also do some basic like bicep curls. We'll just do a couple of those and some tricep work also, because the band is a great like stick one at the desk at your office. You have it. You have like a couple minutes to do some stretching or a little bit of workout, or like when you travel, it's a great accessory to bring with you. So you're going to pull up, elbows by your waist, and then bring the arms down slowly. And if it's not enough work, obviously you can choke up on the band. If it's too much work, pay it out. But there's almost a little bit of flexion up. So the palm is up here, and you sort of pull the knuckles towards the ceiling a little bit so that when you lift the band, you don't go into wrist extension. And you do keep the wrist braced here in the neutral position. But because you're applying force to it, you might start with a little bit of a curl. And down you go. And watch you go slower than the band wants to take you on the way down, because the way we're working our muscles there is called eccentric, or resisting the pull of the force. And that actually makes it stronger than the lifting up into the pressure of the band. And let's do this one more time. And then exhale all the way down. And I also love to do alternating, whether you just take one arm up and then slowly bring it down. And then the other one. You can feel which of the abdominal muscles are firing to hold your body steady with this asymmetrical lift. Feel that? And again, try to find that resistance on the return towards the ground. You're resisting the flow of the band. So it provides resistance on the lift. So we can do one arm at a time first. And then after this one, we'll do reciprocal. I think you'll feel more of the oblique work this way. So pull one up, as it lowers, the other one is going up. And the muscles in your core have to work to hold you steady with this asymmetrical lift. And then we're going to end this now. And here, maybe grab, so you want to just choke up with the band a bit more for the tricep work. And maybe if you reach down low enough, your shoulders will drop a little bit here too. Then turn the palms back. And we're taking the arms back to work into the triceps. And then exhale, bring it forward. You're going to coat the circulation in your fingers. So when you pull back, I know you can feel the triceps at the back of the arm. See if you could also feel the blades knitting together. So the muscles between them, your rhomboids and your mid-traps are engaging. And then exhale, bring it forward. And the other thing that will happen with this, again, with the abs in your center, when you go back, you'll feel the bracing of the abdominal wall. It's like this, acts like a shield in front of your body. And then you bring it back to take your time, bring it back slowly. So like a lot of the gift of doing Pilates is that kind of increase in awareness of the sensations in your body as you're moving. And sometimes it's in unexpected places. First, of course, you're staying straight and you find that resistance using the band to find opposing forces as you work. Now we're going to do a little, this comes from an exercise of chest expansion in the Pilates repertoire. So you take the arms back and you hold them back. Watch that the wrists stay straight. Turn your head first to your right, going left to mirror you. Exhale back to center. Inhale, look to your left. Exhale, center. Inhale, reach the arms back behind you. Increase the work in the triceps and in the abs, and then exhale to bring the arms forward and down. And again, we slide back with the arms. And maybe even pull the thumbs a little closer to each other behind you. Now here, inhale to look to your left. Exhale, center. Inhale, look right. Exhale, center. Inhale, reach back. Increase the tricep work and look in your back muscles, and then bring it forward and left. Good. Do another set of these, so 2 more reps, right? So you reach low with the hands and back and in with the arms, opening the chest. Inhale, right. Exhale, forward. Inhale, looking left. Exhale, forward. Inhale, reach back. And exhale, pull forward slowly. Resist the pull of your straps, and one last time. So we're reaching back here. And exhale. Inhale, look to your left. Exhale, forward. Inhale, turn your head. We're not rotating the torso. Come back to center. We are rotating the neck. And then reach the arms behind you. Lift up into the palm of the hand, into the strap, and then exhale, bring it forward. And here's a nice place to kind of bounce the shoulders a little bit, or roll them. And then one last one. We're just going to take the arms back and pulse 8 times. So the arms go back, you reach low to the knuckles toward on the diagonal, and you pulse up 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 5, 6, 7, 8, reach, hold, and then bring it back nice and slow. And we'll do one more set because we all need some tricep work. Take it back and reach and pulse up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Reach, hold it there. Exhale, return. And repeat that. So we can step on off. Ooh. Permanent mark on my hand now. And now we're doing something from the Franklin method. He calls it Miss America. So this will take tension out of the traps here, upper traps. So you take the band, take the center of it across one shoulder, and the end of the band kind of comes over the acromion, the end of the scapular bone right here. So that it acts like almost like a little calf sleeve. And then we're going to bring the band across your chest in the front and across your back. Behind you, make a sash out of it with the Girl Scout sashes. And then you can pull the hand holding the sash down below. Jig up on the bed if you want to or need to. Just be sure that shoulder stays down. Now from here, we're pulling your shoulder up. It wants to kiss your ear. And then bring it down slowly. And let the band pull it a little lower than you would normally hold it. That's beautiful. And lift it again. It glides up and feel the scapula sliding on your back, and then release it down. You want the hand holding the strap. That elbow should be bent and reaching back to keep that shoulder down. And then we lift the band. Provides a little resistance. And then melt the blade down your back. Let the hand reach for the floor. And let's do one more of these. So it glides up. And then exhale in 6. And now we pull the shoulder forward. So you pull it forward and then back. So reach your fingers from the floor and draw a little semicircle around your upper thigh with that hand. Now the scapula slides towards the spine, the hand goes behind you and away from the spine as the hand comes forward. And then we can come center and do some little circles here. So the shoulder blade lifts up, forward, down, and back. Make it very juicy. You're going to really enjoy this. Like, this is something you've been waiting all day to do, even though you didn't know it. Another one of the evaluation things that Eric Franklin would do in his workshops, he would ask you to do a movement and then rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being like absolute nirvana, and 1 being like, oh, I hate this exercise. I can't believe she asked me to do that. And then the next time you try it, you would set your interior scale, your number, to a higher number, and then do it again. Okay, I know I can make this an 8 or a 9. And now here we go. We're going to reverse the circles. So you're going back and up, forward and down. I may already have done that while I was chatting, so sorry about that. See how much you can move the blade on your back and the top of the shoulder, forward, down, back. Do one more, of course, breathing as you do this. Okay, and then we'll release the band. You can drop it so you can see the difference in length. Yeah, you guys should turn around and look at each other too. Like, notice how much longer the arm is. Is that ridiculous? And look at how much the shoulders have fallen. Like, how come they're not here all the time, right? Like, what is causing this? So you probably know. But anyway, so now it's time. Oh, and also, you just reach both arms forward, front of your sternum. The side that you did, see how much longer the fingers are reaching out? You've taken some of the tension out of the whole arm chain, not just the shoulder itself. You can see it, right, if you look at somebody, because their arm hangs closer to the body and the fingers are more relaxed on the hand, on the side you did. Kind of this is like a little claw, and this one is just like melting to the ground. So here we go, we'll do the other side because it wouldn't be fair not to. So we're taking the band across the shoulder and a little to the edge. onto the upper arm, the humerus here. And then we make our Miss America pageant sash, or the Girl Scout sash, since I know it's Pride Month time right now. Okay, and once you have it set, the other arm still keep the shoulder relaxed and really pull down with that arm. And then we're beginning with the lift of the shoulder up, and then sink it down low. And it lifts again, and then bring it down. A little pressure into the shoulder, and then the release as the shoulder drops. Let's picture the inhale, the air inside the lung, helping to float the shoulder up, and as you exhale, everything relaxes, fits together, and drops down. Sometimes you even feel as the hand reaches for the floor and get a little bit of a tug into the neck. Showing maybe you're able to get some tension there. One more like this. Get nice and high. Exhale. Barely the body, and the arm sinks to the floor. Now we're doing the little semicircles here to move the shoulder forward and back. Noticing how the hand position changes, the scapular position on the back of your arm. A lot of times, like in the studio, I see clients come in, and I see people on the street too, like this. You know, where it's like their shoulder blades are just welded to their rib cage. It doesn't look like they have any mobility at all. And often that's a postural habit that they have, where they're trying to lock themselves into better posture by anchoring the shoulder blades down and back. Which would be great if like you were on a wall, but it isn't so good if you're with your body. So we do want to appreciate that the scapula have the ability to slide and glide over and around the ribs. And then we'll come back to center. And now we start the circles. So up and forward, down and back. Lift and forward, down. Just at your own pace with your breath. Nice shoulder shrug, and then a nice release. If there's a deep brush sticking out directly perpendicular to your body here, you'd be painting a circle on the wall. Trying to make it smooth, like a perfect circle that you're painting on the wall. And then we reverse. Feel the pressure of the strap into the muscles here across the shoulder. And release as the arm goes low. Sometimes it's news to the shoulder blade that it not only can go up, but it can also go down. And often if we find someone, like I work with a client whose shoulders are almost permanently up, like earrings attached to their ears, doing this teaches them that there's other positions that are possible in their body. It's a gift. It's a good thing to know that. All right, and then we can take this off. And let's see, yes. This should be even, take the arms forward, yes, check that out. Excellent job. All right, so we can put again aside, and I think we're gonna go to some of the other exercises for the mat work, but we'll use some of the toys as we go. So let's start with the roll up, and we can use the magic circle. So sitting upright, extend the arms forward, and the heel of your hand goes into the cushion or the handle there on your circle. And then just feel what it's like to lightly press into it from the armpit around your rib cage. And release it, and then press it again. Feel that knitting together. You're looking for the connection between the heel of your hand to your upper arm, to the muscles right here, wrapping under the chest wall, neck from your tricep, to your lat, to your serratus, to your external oblique. And that's going to be helpful when you're rolling up and down, because you can engage those muscles to help you control movement. So you have a light pressure into it as you curl the tail up and start to roll your spine down. Exhale to get the ribs down with control. Lay your vertebrae down one after another and reach the arms up and then back. You can take a little pressure out, but don't drop the circle. Start to lift the arms away from the shoulder blade. Lift your head, neck, and chest. Exhale, squeeze the arms around the upper chest and then drive forward. It gives you a little bit of a boost, and then as you drive forward, imagine your head reaching out inside the circle, like a lion jumping through a ring of flame. And then we're coming back down. The tail goes forward. You can take the arms higher, you can take the circle higher, and then squeeze it if you need a little extra help, slowly move it down to the ground. And then release it when it's back. And then we lift the arms again, pick up your head, down your nose, exhale, squeeze the circle, come forward, step the waist back into your spinal curve, and dive the hip forward as the shoulders reach back behind you. And we're doing that again, and let's push forward across the room. Lift the tail, you work yourself down, you lower the tail when the ribs connect to the ground, your arms reach back. And let's do that one more time. Up, squeeze to lift. And then curve the back of the body over the front of the body. And we'll take it back down here to the ground one more time. And from here, let's lift. We're going to actually come up once more so I can roll back into your upper and lower hundreds. And then just put the circle on your side. All right, so you bend your knees. And then the arms can go forward or along your legs. Lift the chest first. And then curl the tail up and down. So you start to round the lower back. You're working yourself down inch by inch to your best upward curl. And then fold the knees in, palms to the floor, lengthen the arms forward, send the legs up and pump the arms. Inhale in and exhale. Imagine the heel of your hand pumping into a magic circle on each side of your body. And feel that firm up the back of your arms here. The legs sit together. Wherever they touch, connect them. And where they don't touch, imagine coming closer together. Your breath is deep. Take a deep inhale and the body expands. And a deep exhale when the body gets together and contracts. So you want to feel this expansiveness on the inhale and the emptying on the exhale. Head is high, try to keep lifting your head up, as if the top of your head could go as high as your knees or maybe even higher. And keep reaching forward with the arms, go long through your fingertips across the room. We'll take one more breath, deep inhale, and then exhale. Pull your knees into your body, release your head back, and then turn your head side to side. All right, and we'll grab the band or your singular circles. Take the band around your right foot and lift it up to the ceiling. Anchor the elbows down by your waist, left leg long. Do a couple of plank flexes through your feet to get that length through the calf muscles and the articulation through the foot itself. We end in a sub point and bring the leg across the body on the inhale. Exhale, take it low. Exhale, rotate out to the side, up to the ceiling at the end of the exhale. So one circle, one breath, short inhale, long exhale. Draw that circle in the air. Think of it as the face of a clock. You're going to start at the top at 12. Inhale to 3. And exhale all the way around and back up to 12 at the top of the movement again. One more like this. The hips are heavy and grounded. We're going to keep pushing into the opposite hip from the back of the front. Now pause here at the top and reverse. Out to the side and exhale, go low. all the way across and lift it up. So the left side anchors before the right leg moves to the right, and then the right side anchors before the right leg moves left. Try to feel the stretching of the band as you stretch the leg out into it. We're looking for some length in the muscles, increased stretch and release, and more space in the joints in that whole leg chain. We'll do one more like this. The arms press into the ground to help you stabilize the upper body. And then we come to the top. So with the edge of the band in the right hand, open the leg out. The right elbow can be sort of the kickstand for the leg. Left hip is grounded, and then you rock the right leg a little bit towards your shoulder and away without losing the weight into your left leg. Exhale to pull that leg up to the ceiling. Switch hands on the band, and then as the leg crosses over, you lift the hip, waist, and some of the ribs while you pull the right shoulder blade to the floor. Turn to the right and look out over your fingertips here. And you pull the right leg closer to your shoulder and rotate the leg internally to increase the stretch diagonally into the glute and the low back. Exhale, we unwind from the shoulder to the waist to the hip. Lift the leg up, give it a little tug, increase the hamstring stretch. And then fold the knee in, embrace it in tight, and then stretch that leg forward. Let's get a little shake. And it's almost shocking to see how much longer the right leg is, how much closer it is to the floor, and the amount of relaxation that it holds compared to the left. So left leg now, we bend the foot, and lift the foot up to the ceiling. Do a few point flexes here for the foot and the ankle, double toe, double heel. Remember to slide your elbows towards your hips to move the shoulders away from your ears. And we end in a soft plank. Press the upper arms and the elbows into the mat. And then we circle across the body on inhale, exhale all the way around and up to the sky. And keep moving through this. A short inhale and a long exhale. Feel the weight transfer in the body and emphasize that, like expect it, anticipate it. Think of getting heavier, like your left side sinks into quicksand before the leg goes right. And then you sink down with the right side of the body into the quicksand as the leg goes left. Keep pushing further and further out into the strap. Let it support the weight of your leg and give you a little bit of guidance here, a little bit of fluidity in this movement. We come to the top and reverse. Out to the side and then circle forward and around. Drag it up, lift it high, and reach again. Pull that air deep into the lungs and then expel it out slowly, a little bit at a time. So at the top of the river, you're out of your exhale and ready to inhale again. The longer the exhale is, the more you're going to feel the deep contraction of the abdominals at the top of the movement at the end of the breath. Now, left hand holds both ends of the band. And you open the leg out to the left. Right side gets heavier, drop it into the floor like it's bolted there. And then rock the leg through your shoulder and away. Exhale to pull the leg up to the ceiling. Switch hands on the band. And then bring the leg across, extending the arm out, perpendicular to your torso. And then reaching the leg across. Working towards having the chest to the sky and the pelvis to the wall. Rotate the leg internally, just get that extra little bit of stretch that you're looking for here. And then you unwind, come from the right shoulder, diagonally down to the left hip, lift the leg up, give it an extra little stretch here. And then you can hug the knee and the band comes off. Brace it in tight and go. There is a sigh of relief and release in the back. And then slide your left leg forward next to the right one. Shake them out with any luck. They feel like they're even and they're both equally happy. So now let's pull the right knee to your chest, left leg up and roll forward for rolling the ball. Okay, we can use the ball between the thighs. Elbows go wide and forward to suck the waist back. Bring the pelvic tuck and upper curl. Inhale to lift the tail. Let's roll the shoulder blades And exhale, come forward and up. So you breathe into it. Just be sure you have enough